This is Clayton Hicklin. You are listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN 89.5 FM.
That's right. It's 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon on KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM. That means it's time for Open Mic Radio. We're going to get it going with one from a gentleman who we'll have on the phone in just a little bit here. Check this out. This is Danny Schmidt, and this goes out to our good friend Memphis Chris.
Things change fast, but this too shall pass. Better carve it on your forehead or tattoo it on your ass, 'cause who can tell when the clock strikes 12 if today's become tomorrow? It's all just gone to hell. My friend makes rings, she swirls and sings. She's a mystic in the sense that she's still mystified by things but scared to ask. How can nothing seem to last? Just like a cancer in your body, it all goes too fast. We think too big. We think ourself is one whole thing, and we claim that this collection has a name and is a being, but deep inside, when every cell divides, well, it sets upon the rule that state self-interest is divine. And cancer, too, lives by this golden rule that you must do unto the others as the others unto you, all for the best. Because it's all that life accepts, and so we kill it like a buffalo with awe and with respect. Don't ask God, just holler at the sky, 'cause she'll tell it to you plainly. And the clouds that whisper by and praise the shapes, and then praise the way they change. And they'll teach you not to pray to light without you pray to rain. So I pray to hands, I pray to needs, and I pray to blades of grass to find forgiveness in the weeds. But as for help, I just never did believe, and so I never prayed myself except to those that prayed for me. The story goes, or the way that I was told there was a king that always felt too high, and then he fell too low, and so he called all the wise men to the hall, and he begged them for a gift to end the rises and the falls. But here's the thing, they came back with a ring. It was simple and was plainly unbefitting of a king, engraved in black. Well, it had no front or back, but there were words around the band that said, just know this too shall pass.
All right, nice one to get us going here this afternoon. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM. That is music from Danny Schmidt, and we're actually going to have Dan on the phone with us around the top of the hour, I guess, around 5 o'clock or so. We'll play a couple more songs from Danny Schmidt throughout the program today and find out a little bit about this excellent young musician, all right? Meanwhile, I will say hello, Kurt. Hello, Clark.
Well, hello there, Harrisburg. How are you? Mike. How are you?
I'm doing reasonably well. It's been frankly, it's been a stressful couple of days, but it's a lovely Saturday afternoon once again here in Columbia, Missouri. If it is a little bit hot, we had First Friday last night. Lots happening around town. If you want to bring us up to snuff and let us know what the scoop is out there, give us a call here, 573.
Somebody's bringing us snuff?
443-8255.
What?
We don't do snuff here, man.
Well,
right? We smoke a little weed, but we don't do snuff.
Yeah,
right?
okay. All right.
Okay.
Snuff of that.
Snuff that out.
Snuff of that.
That's enough of that.
Snuff of
that
talk.
rumor. All right.
Snuff of that talk.
Anyway, big thanks to
Nothing but rumors.
Peter, jamming on the one mic from 2 o'clock till 4. Before that, Morgan and the Motherland Jam. Wonderful stuff from across the continent of Africa from noon to 2 every Saturday afternoon. Got wonderful Latin programming before noon. Coming up after this program, of course, Rosh Shimba and a reggae party. I always try to sneak that in when Kurt's not paying attention, but I can never pull it off. Anyway, Rosh Shimba and a reggae party coming up from 6 o'clock till 8. And Chris with Blues on Broadway from 8 to 11. You know, I was just talking to somebody about the blues scene down in Jeff City, and there's a blues jam and quite a blues community, actually. And Chris, who runs Blues on Broadway here at KOPN from 8 to 11 on Saturdays, is also involved in the blues stuff down in Jeff City. And I don't know details, but I know that if you're into the blues, there's a great blues radio program, actually, from Saturday, I think like 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, and that's on Jeff City Radio 98.5, I think. I'm not even probably supposed to be doing that for other radio stations, but anyway, that's a great blues program, and I think
I like 89.5.
I think that Chris is involved in that. And Chris, if you're out there listening, maybe give us a call, okay? And if you're not, someone else give us a call, 573-443-8255.
Clearly, we could use some information.
It's Open Mic Radio, and maybe sometime during the program we'll try to give you an update on some things that are happening around town. Kurt,
yeah.
Do we have any idea? Did you even look?
I haven't. I have a little bit of an idea. I have an idea. I probably haven't looked.
Oh, my God. All right, well, let me tell you what's happening this afternoon.
But I will.
Yes, I'm sure you will. We have some friends coming through this afternoon. Nobody really, we're not really featuring anyone this afternoon, although I'm excited to play some music from this guy, Danny Schmidt. But Paul Myers is here. Paul Miller, I think he was like a famous architect and like made some really cool furniture, didn't he? Something like that. Yeah. Well, then actually that kind of makes sense because Myers is a damn good carpenter himself. So anyway, Paul Myers here, he's a bass player, plays with a bunch of different bands around town. Most notably, in my book, Zawata. He also plays with the
excellent musician.
Yeah, he plays with the Rolling Stops and with the Stoplight Flyers. And up until then, you had to have the word "stop" in the name, or he would not perform with you. But Dylan, see what I mean? But Dylan McCord convinced him that even without the word stop in the band name to come and play along. So Zawada is a really cool new project that's on my radar, and they've been doing really great stuff for a band that's only been around for a reasonably short period of time. So anyway, Paul, hi.
Hi.
Good to see you, brother.
How's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to be here.
I think the last time I saw you maybe was at the King Theodore birthday party.
It was at King Theodore, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That was an absolute hoot.
Yes, it really was. That was a great afternoon, and our friend to your left, Mr. Dylan McCord, was there as well, and he's I guess there's 3 members in Zawata. We always tend to have 2 out of 3. Forrest shows up when it's necessary, only when the money's on the table. But
Hey, we make money.
I was going to say, he makes better money at what he's doing right now. So.
Anyway, Forrest Wilson, Dylan McCord, Paul Meyer, that's the three-piece band that makes up Zawata. Dylan, I've never really asked you where the name came from.
It's the water with an accent.
Zawata.
I was looking at the river down at Cooper's, and I was just thinking of the thing that is everything.
I was
Wow.
I was on
And-
stage with him one afternoon, and it was like the first or second time I'd sat in with him.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Hey, Dylan, where did you come up with the name for this band? What is Zawada?" He just stood there and he pointed
at the
over at the
river.
river. He said, "That is Zawada."
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny. I was thinking it was some obscure Japanese word or something like that.
No, not at all.
With
Just
some
a-
deep connotation or reference. And now it's the water.
It's the water.
Which is actually much more appropriate, and I love it. So
Especially
Zawata.
around here.
When did you actually decide to put a band together? Because you've been doing kind of solo stuff and dabbling with performing. You've done the Last Waltz thing for years. You've performed as Neil Diamond, I think, and others perhaps. But anyway, you've really taken it seriously over the last year or so. Can you tell me what happened?
Well, I ended up being a sound engineer for the last almost 30 years. Luckily, it's tangentially in line with my main passion, which is music and stuff. But just in this last 5 years, I've decided to refocus my energy on being a musician that also runs sound. And luckily, I've ran into some people that just really round out all the sounds I've had in my head for so long. And, I'm getting older, man. Haven't taken the chance to really put a lot of energy into any of my projects for any length of time. And Clark and I were doing stuff for a while a number of years ago.
Oh, yeah. 2009.
Yeah, 2000.
Wow,
2009. Oh, geez.
Well,
but
Well, you and I were talking the other day when we had lunch about newer songs versus older writing projects, and
Right.
you said, yeah, some of the stuff that I'm performing now is actually quite old, and some of the stuff is relatively current. But you've got a chest full of stuff. I have a feeling that is yet to see the light of day. Are you planning on recording more, releasing more, sharing more?
we are in the
Or do you not have
process
any
of-
more? Is it just that's all?
I am tapped out.
I mean, maybe.
No, believe me, it's in there. It just takes the right motivation for him to pop a new one out. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Got to chase down the right squirrel.
right. This show brought to you by squirrels.
Squirrels and what's the other one?
Rabbits.
Oh, yes, rabbits and squirrels, all running around in my head right now.
Yes. We have a handful of songs that we're really close to ready to record. We're just kind of refining the small details. And I'm also trying to record, produce, and master it all in-house with us. Keep the budget down.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Paul, really quickly, you have a friend, Ken Baker?
Yes, Ken Baker over
Yeah,
here.
who has
Ken
visited
is-
us in the studio this afternoon. Maybe slide your mic over just for a second. We'll say hi to Ken.
I'm just visiting. Hello.
Ken, do you live around here, or are you really just visiting?
I live about 3 blocks to the west.
All right. So a local visitor. Yeah, or you can come sit down over here. We're gonna have a lot of people coming through the studio today. So don't grab a seat if you can, and if there's one. And if you thought you had one, it might be gone.
I'm going to tell you now, Ken happens to be an excellent singer even though his throat may not be at 100% right now. And
Great
really
singer,
great
great
guitar
guitar player.
player.
Wow. Okay.
Very
Clearly,
kind
if it's coming from both of these guys, Ken,
They're very kind to me.
what's your background? Are you from around here originally, and what's your musical
Well, I've been in
background?
Columbia for 45 years or so.
Uh-huh.
Actually was kind of in and out of the music scene
Thank you,
a few
Dylan.
decades ago, and then stepped away, devoted more time to other things, including my day career, which I just retired from
Really?
July 1st. So
Wow. Congratulations. What was that?
my goal, well, I'm a registered nurse, and I worked over at the Cancer Center and
Wow.
been around different things doing
All right.
cancer research.
Well, good work.
But now my retirement gig is to play music. So
Well, if you have the energy of most nursing people, you're going to need a lot to do. So there's plenty of music out there that needs to be played, and it isn't going to play itself. Isn't that
That's right.
Isn't that what this? So, all right. Well, I'm glad you're getting back into the music scene or whatever. What's your musical background? These guys are saying what a great guitar player you are. Do you have?
well, I'm an acoustic guitar player. A lot of influences with the singer songwriters of the 60s, 70s. Paul Simon was an early influence.
Oh,
and
man.
Of course, Dylan and the Beatles, and on from there. Fast forward.
Paul Simon, underrated guitar player, outstanding
Right.
guitar player. Yeah.
True.
So, I hearkened from there and trying to make up for lost time of not sticking with it like I should have. So
Well, you never know. It's happening in the background, whether you think it is or not. Maybe now it all gets all comes public or something like that. Are you planning on performing and
Oh, yeah.
or getting a band together or all of the above, or or you primarily play as a singer songwriter?
So I played with other people almost all of my musical, not career, but time, and was able to securely stand in the background in the shadows of other people, and so that's where I came from. And now I'm just like, I've discovered this solo thing that is really scary. Yet on the other hand, I'm in control of everything. I can
yeah.
screw
Yes.
up all the time.
That's right.
Anytime I want,
Yeah.
it's up to
No,
me.
and-
I mean, who knows if you're
but-
screwing up in your head?
It's
Yeah,
For the outward perspective, it's hard.
yeah, no.
Well,
so
and no compromise, right? You do exactly what you want.
So
and-
I'm exploring that right now, but I would like to consider, playing with. We've been playing together some. So
Are you
I
a
sat
writer?
in
Are
with
you a writer
percussion
as well?
on.
yeah,
Are you a writer
Yes.
as well?
yep.
And in that same sort of style, I guess
Yeah,
that we're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah. Wow.
He
Well,
writes
I-
killer stuff. We sat in with him at the
Once again.
community showcase this last Monday. I was percussion. He was doing bass.
Was that over at Berlin?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, and Paul, I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it. I know one of these Mondays I got to get down there, but
You really should.
yeah.
It's
No,
a really great place, a venue. It's a music hangout. Monday nights at Cafe Berlin. You can come hear a lot of stuff you'd never thought you'd hear in Columbia. So a lot of new stuff. Young kids coming out and doing some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I marvel at they've been
Oh, yeah.
alive for 12, 15 years and they're doing this. What?
Dave Angle's son and his
Yeah.
band.
Max Angle, they're called New Moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Man,
New
they're
Moon
just-
was
they're
there.
really
and
Outstanding.
They
That's
killed
Steve Earle.
Andy Liu, Max Angle, and Cameron. I forget Cameron's last name, but it's a three-piece, and they're
Yeah.
with
A fiddle and accordion?
fiddle, keys or accordion, and then Max on the guitar, or
Yeah.
I think he can play mandolin as
he,
well.
He was on the accordion Monday night.
I see.
And it
All right.
was perfect.
Well, yeah. Shout out to New Moon and Max. He's a good kid, and of course Dave's a great friend of ours and great friend
They're
of the
giving
program
old
here.
dudes
So,
faith about the future.
are the Daves playing at Cooper's? Who's playing at Cooper's this afternoon? There's somebody playing right now. I'm sure.
Mr. Fun.
Mr. Fun. All right, Mr. Fun. Dylan, Mr. Fun at the Blue Note. I remember like many times back in the day, or maybe it was Mojo's. Does that sound right? or no?
Mr. Fun is I don't know. They're about it's Pete Skolka, Jake,
Yeah.
and then Sean and Kevin Hennessy.
Right.
John
I think
Estino.
it's like 6 years. The Fried Crawdaddies are basically that group plus John
Plus John
D'Agostino and Tony
and
Lockton.
Tony on the sax. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
So.
down there till 5, and,
and-
then it's like Clayton Hicklin.
And Clayton Hicklin, from another real talented guitarist and vocalist, Clayton Hicklin, who's only he was here on the program earlier in the year or last year, and he only recently sort of picked up the bluegrass style of picking, guitar.
It's only been a few years.
Yeah, man, he's really
We've been
outstanding.
digging in deep to it.
Who's the dude who he came here and played with? He plays with
He's with Claude Crum
Claude Crum
and Joe Hinkebine
Uh-huh.
and Austin Wilson plays bass with him a lot of times, and then also Isaac Foley
Okay.
will play bass with him.
Very cool. Anyway, like Ken and Dylan were just mentioning, we got all kinds of talent around this place, and often stuff that you wouldn't imagine or think that might be coming out of mid Missouri. But there's a lot of talented artists here in all kinds of different genres, and it's really, really cool. So
Yeah, it's been really, really cool watching it develop over the last 5 years.
well,
Like,
and
it's been
20, for us, and to be honest, I mean,
There's always been cool stuff going on, and I think the collaborative effort in the last 5 years since the pandemic,
Yeah.
it kind of switched how all the musicians were moving around each other in this town, and that's really starting to develop into something cool.
I love it. All right, so speaking of that, we've got a bunch of folks coming through here this afternoon. I'm expecting Nathan James to stop by and maybe play a couple songs for us. Of course, we got Dylan McCord, Paul Myers here, Ken Baker is here. We got Clark in the house. Kurt's here. If we have some time, Kurt might play a couple songs toward the end of the program. Danny Schmidt, we've got a phone call coming up with him around the top of the hour, and we'll play a couple of his songs. He's performing at Compass, at the Compass Music Lounge, a week from Sunday, a week from this coming Sunday. So check him out. That first song I opened the program with, called "This Too Shall Pass," was a Danny Schmidt song. Really cool stuff. All right. Also, I think Will Reeves may be stopping by this afternoon. Will and I were chatting a couple days ago, and if he's in the vicinity and he only lives a few blocks away, we may see and hear from Will Reeves and find out what's happening at Centro Cellars Studios. I'm sure you've been down there many times. McCord, you ever recorded though down
I
there?
have not.
No.
I have not recorded.
Okay.
But I've known Will for
forever. Yeah, and of course, Will's a talented musician in his own right, bass player, I guess, but also plays a lot of other string instruments. He started with Bachman, I think. I remember seeing
Bachman's
Eufio back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And of course, all those guys in St. Louis now. Danny and
Danny's still in town. Danny and Will still are, and Andrew are still.
Is
here.
Danny still in town? Drummer Danny?
Yeah. He's got Danny's lawn care and landscaping.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was thinking that Falling Fences and what's the other guy from Bachman who's now in St. Louis, and he does
Sean Cannon.
Sean Cannon, right?
Yeah, he's got the Voodoo Players.
Right. I was seeing. Does Danny still play the drums with him though?
No, not in that project.
Not in that project. Huh. Wow.
Danny's
I thought
doing with the Molly Healy. The Molly Healy project.
Yeah, the string project.
And he does the Bachman thing every so often. They'll get back together.
Okay.
I think they recorded another album over the last few years.
Huh.
But yeah, they're all still. They all pretty much had kids at the same time, and
Right.
so they
Yeah.
still get together as friends and family and hang out and all that.
Well, a bunch of great musicians, and I love the whole scene.
You know what I just realized? I think Mr. Dylan and Mr. Paul here have their instruments in front of them and can maybe play a tune.
You know, Kurt's always getting us back on track, is what he does. He says, this is a music program, Mike.
He's an observant kind of guy.
Yes, he's like, quit the jibber jabber, get to the music. Right? He's absolutely right. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, and if these two gentlemen will be kind enough, you want to do a couple for us?
Sure.
All right, Dylan McCord, Paul Meyer, 2/3 of Zawata, and you listen to it here on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
They say it's the way they control us, deny this way with all that you are. Have faith in hope and the love of each other. Deny this wall that they used to separate. on the way we love. Don't settle on the ways we die. Don't settle on the harm we bring. Settle on the hate in our eyes. Don't settle on the ways we love or the ways we die. Time to stand up and fight. Who knows where we go unless we try to win this road? When we stand here in this world, we look with nothing to hurl. We lied to save, we lied to save our soul. Don't settle on the ways we love. Don't settle on the ways we die. Don't settle on the harm we bring. Don't settle on the hate in our eyes. Don't settle on the ways we love or the ways we die. They say it's the way they control us, deny this way with all that you are. Have faith in hope and the love of one another. Deny the walls they used to separate. Settle on the ways we love. Don't settle on the ways we die. Don't settle on the harm we bring. Don't settle on the hate in our eyes. Don't settle on the ways we love or the ways we die. Don't settle on the ways we love or the ways we die. Don't settle on the ways we love or the ways we die.
That's I think that's one that certainly you haven't played that one in the studio before. I'm not sure if you're performing that one live. You probably are.
Yeah.
We did.
You performed that at King Theodore, yeah. Anyway, just wonderful stuff.
That was on a different basis, by the way.
And you know, Paul's new sort of electric upright bass was like the talk of the town a couple Saturdays ago.
That was a lot of fun.
And he was also like rocking through his new like electronic effects pedals, and he was all smiles. He is again right now. So anyway, that was real cool. And
right now?
and that
I've got it out there.
that new
What are you playing with at the moment, though?
Oh, this is my sweet little gold tone mini bass.
It's smaller than my guitar.
Yeah.
that's crazy. It pumps it out. You know, it's hard to get sound out of an acoustic bass too. I always feel like, and that one kicks it out pretty well.
Yeah.
This is a pretty sweet instrument. And after finger injuries and not being able to play six strings anymore,
It's got rubber strings.
this replaced a 72 SG.
Wow. Huh? I'll be done.
That broke my heart to have to get rid of, but somebody at Crazy Music was very happy.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got a nice instrument there. So,
I love this thing.
hey, Ken, what do you play? You have a number of instruments. Probably grab that mic real fast if you don't mind. Yeah.
Sure. I play a six string. My favorite right now is a Taylor 818E. It's So I'm really in love with it. So
Kurt plays this Martin, but he likes the 12 string.
I was a 12-string player.
I've never.
I love me some 12-string.
I can't do it. It's like the mandolin to me. It's like
I
you
can't
in hard and
anymore. I
harder.
used to.
Yeah, but
strings.
I have my favorite guitar though is a Taylor as well. But at least it's this like the parlor one. It's a GS Mini.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the it's not the baby Taylor. It's a little bit bigger than that, like maybe 7/8 instead of 3/4. You know. But that's a nice little guitar, and for its size, it really sounds nice.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not the GS Mini.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's called. Oh no, it is the GS Mini.
It is.
It's not the baby Taylor.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It's a little more.
a little bit more. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. You guys want to do another couple? Maybe 1, 2.
Sure.
All right. Ken, you got any urge to play a song? Maybe.
Yeah, you should.
could, yeah.
You should go grab your guitar.
We got plenty of time. We're here till 6 o'clock, and we really don't have a whole lot of things on the docket this afternoon. So this is a perfect time for you to come down, and we'll get a couple.
Did you say Dawkins coming on? Is that
Yes. Yeah. And Tesla's-
George Lynch and Don Dokken and the other two.
Boy, have you
and
got
the
pull.
others. And the other two.
But yeah, that's all I can remember. I used to be a Dokken fan, but that's
Yeah. Oh man.
those memories are.
I think I have a Dokken record. I have at least one of every heavy metal like at least band that was reasonably big. Dokken, I never really dug him, but I had to have one record. I think I have one Tesla record too. Yeah. And it isn't Elon Musk, okay?
Yeah, that's that was my tape collection. Right, we just had a moment.
White Lion, I think that's
Oh
some,
my God,
that's some
I
White
love me
Lions.
some White Lion.
Actually, they were kind of a bluesy band. They were pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they were kind of.
Kind of, but no. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so Dylan and Paul are going to do a White Lion cover for us here.
No.
All right, pardon me. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We've got Dylan and Paul. Ken Baker's in the studio with us this afternoon. Let's take Dylan's and bring it back toward me a little bit. He's got such a powerful voice, and that's great right there. And that one just above is good. And Paul, you're great with that one where you are. And yeah, so you're listening to KOPN Columbia 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. This is Open Mic Radio. We do this most Saturday afternoons from 4 to 6. Live music and interviews with some of Missouri's finest musicians and bands.
with the exception of the second Saturday of the month.
Yeah, then we don't have the finest musicians and bands. We got a bunch of hacks on the second Saturday. No, that's actually.
You cut us all free to go out into the world.
It's actually Matt Big.
And a rockabilly corner.
That's right, Big Cat Matt and a rockabilly corner. Right. And really, that's a great show. It's he really knows it when it comes
He's
to.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's got a great, very deep well when it comes to knowledge of rockabilly music and early country and that kind of stuff. So
Good old Matt Deal.
yeah. All right. So we have once again Paul Meyer and Dylan McCord. They're a couple of the three members of Zawata. They'll be what do you guys have coming up?
We have
I
Buds,
think you might know
Blues,
something
and
about
Barbecue.
Dude, I'm so psyched, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buds
We should
Blues.
talk about that here
We
in a second.
can. Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about that in a little bit here, all right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Buds Blues and Barbecue Festival, the inaugural Buds Blues and Barbecue Festival coming up.
Year one.
September 13th, 14th, out there at Midway. It's going to be really cool. All right, so let's get another song before Kurt reminds me, and we will say.
Or start singing.
You felt it circling around you like there's a reminder coming. There's a reminder coming.
It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. This is Zawata.
This is a song called Better Day. A lot of my stuff's really heavy, but this one is a little bit more of a, stuff will get better kind of song. I believe in a better day. Something changes when you're about to break. You could fall or run away or wait around and trip strong, if you're not strong today. Well, I know this life has ran you hard. It has you wasted and torn apart. The polished shell with a broken core. Your faith is out to sea while you're waiting on the shore. But who is strong if you're not strong today? Well, who is strong if you're not strong today? Well, I know you might feel useless, but it's not right. Feel that way. March on through the hard times and believe when we say we will have a better day. Well, I believe in a better day. Something changes when you're about to break. Thanks, y'all.
Fantastic. Once again, Dylan McCord, Paul Meyer. They're a project called Zawata, and you can see him all. I mean, Paul's all over the place. He's playing bass with lots of different bands: the Rolling Stops, the Stoplight Flyers, Zawata,
Boone Howlers.
the Boone Howlers every now and then.
Ken.
And Ken Baker now, perhaps we'll see if Ken
Nathan.
decides to invite you into his one-man project.
Hey, Mike.
I'm just kidding.
I started working some stuff with Nathan.
Good. Yeah, he mentioned that to me actually. He's going to be here shortly.
Cool.
I mean, I think so. That was the plan at least. All right, so
I gotta get out of here in about 10 minutes.
let's do one more. Okay. You got
and then talk about.
and then we'll talk about BBBBQ
yeah.
or whatever, and then you can scoot on your way. And if you want to grab that little device, it's in the bottom of our box.
From the possibility box.
Possibility box. I know, it's the greatest thing. All right, so we're gonna hear one more from Dylan McCord and Paul Meyer, and then Ken Baker's gonna maybe play one or two for us, and Nathan James will be here in the house shortly. Anyway, stick around, okay? A bunch of great stuff coming for the next hour and a half, and then of course Rashomon and a reggae party coming at 6 o'clock. All right, get your dancing shoes on and get ready for the roots rock reggae sounds of Rashomon. Okay, all right, Paul and Dylan, let's have another one.
Right on. This song called Religion of One. It's probably a decade old at this point.
All right.
And yeah.
Well, cool. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Once again, Paul and Dylan.
I will tune up. There we go. He walked into town with a suitcase in hand. Said he's gonna sell me the way to the promised land. And he would proclaim that he knew my name. A sinner, a heathen, the damned, it's all the same. Well, what gives you the right to question my life? How I'll see God, why I stand and fight. The religion of one, the religion just for me. I am what I am, not what you want me to be. The religion of one, the religion just for me. But I am what I am, not what you want me to be. Well, I found on my lawn a message of hate left by a coward while I slept, not face to face. Well, mad as I had ever been, with my hands wrapped around his neck. This is not the kind of man I was taught to be, and not how I learned to respect the religion of one, the religion just for me. I am what I am, not what you want me to be. The religion of one, the religion just for me. Well, I am what I am, not what you want me to be. Don't come to my door and preach me your lines. I didn't ask for your opinions, and I know you didn't ask for mine. Don't come to my door and preach me your lines. I didn't ask for your opinion, and I know you didn't ask for mine. The religion of one, the religion just for me. I am what I am, not what you want me to be. The religion of one, the religion just for me. I am what I am, not what you want me to be. But I am what I am, not what you want me to be. Well, I am what I am, not what you want me to be.
All right, so Dylan, quickly before we talk about BBBQ, I've said this more than once, but I'm planning on the reason I let that song ring out before we clap is because I think I'm going to start to put together like a annual open mic radio record, so like the best 12 performances that maybe not the best, but just 12 songs
right.
From over the course of the last 12 months. and release it every year and do it for a benefit for KOPN or something like that.
Sounds great. I'm 100%
You know,
in. Yeah.
and that one I was thinking as you were playing it, man, this is going to be on one of the records, so I'm not going to say anything until it rings out at the end.
If I could only get those bottom two strings in tune, but hey, it's, warts and all.
Anyway. Okay, fantastic stuff. Zawata, you can catch them out and about. Are you performing before the September show? I'm sure you are.
It was nothing on this calendar, but we're hitting it guerrilla warfare style and playing wherever we can, whenever we can.
Yeah. Okay, Paul. Same with you, I guess, with Zawata, but also with your other projects.
Oh, holy cow!
Oh Lord,
He's got a
I
calendar.
gotta look at the calendar,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
That being said, if you want to have Zawata play, give us hit us up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy to find. Instagram.
We got our own rig. We
got our own rig. Have rig will travel.
right.
A couple of open jams I'm going to get into. Ken and I are playing the Roachport General Store on the 18th of
Cool.
this month.
Cool.
4 to 6 on the 18th.
Good. That's my neck of the woods up there. That's great. Yeah.
And then on August 30th, down in Ashland at the Dandelion,
Yeah. It's
I'll be with this young man right here.
Oh, well, speak of the devil. Nathan James in the house. Actually, the opposite of the devil. He's like the sweetest man that I've ever met.
That's
Anyways,
fact.
right?
Truth.
Speaking of a wonderful young man, Nathan James in the house. We'll get a few songs from him actually in a little bit. If you got a few minutes, right, dude? Okay, cool.
I will yield my position here.
Yeah, but first let's talk about our September event.
Yes.
So I'll give you the quick rundown, and then I'll let Dylan kind of chime in. But John Borland, who is a businessman around town, and if you know him, you know him. But anyway, he's runs a couple of small businesses around town. He got with me a month or so ago and said he wanted to plan this music festival, but also bring barbecue back, like we used to have at Roots Blues and Barbecue. And he asked me if I would consider helping them with the music, and I said that I would, and we came up with this idea of Buds, Blues, and Barbecue. And Buds, of course, can mean a lot of things. In this afternoon, it means really good friends.
Right now, we're
Yes.
all best buds.
Right. And but there's a little bit of a cannabis element here. We've got some sponsors. In fact, maybe I'm speaking too soon, but I think that. High Profile, one of the local dispensaries, and they're a larger operation than just here in town, is going to be perhaps the main sponsor of the show. But we've got a lot of people that are stepping up as sponsors. We've got vendors, food trucks will be out there, and 2 days, September 13th and 14th, of outstanding music. Friday, we've got 5 different bands performing on Friday and another 5 on Saturday. Zawata is among them. We have Ruby Lane, Fox Teeth, the Flood Brothers are wrapping things up on Saturday night. There's a cool blues duo from Cedar Rapids called the Cedar County Cobras, who will be performing on Friday night. The Daves, Buddha Blue,
Blake Gardner and the
Farmers. We mentioned Ruby Lane.
Yep.
A Downside Up.
Downside Up,
Outstanding band from Jefferson City who performed here on the program last month, and we just were blown away. It was great.
The Man King Brothers.
Yep.
Oh, that's
yep.
so good.
Yep.
So
Ryan
good.
and Evan, absolutely.
Yeah. Great lineup for this show.
Yeah,
man.
a bunch of great stuff, and there's there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. There's a Kansas City sanctioned barbecue event, so it's like a bunch of competitive barbecuers will be there for competing for prizes. There's a cornhole tournament. I hate to say it again. Me and Dylan always laugh. Yes, please pick another name for that.
Good.
Right?
Let's not let's move on past
Bags.
Right.
You just call it bags.
Let's play bags. I like it. That's not
Yeah.
much better, but
No.
but it's a little bit better.
Yeah, and Mike, you asked me to you asked us to play it, and then I said to you, hey, who's running production?
And I was like, you.
And I said, right on. And so with the company I'm working for, Sound Concepts,
Yeah.
We're gonna blow that festival out.
And we were out there.
in our
We were out there the other day. Dylan and I
Yeah.
and Chris, your
Yeah,
partner
yeah.
at Sound Concepts, and so these guys are doing the sound. And again, if you're in the music business in mid Missouri or anywhere around these parts, actually, Dylan McCord is the guy you want if you're going to be doing sound. So
Yeah, we're bringing in a nice stage structure and some lights and a really nice sound system, and all the bands that are playing are been my friends for years, and
Yeah,
I just have this feeling about this.
I'm real excited about
Yeah.
it. So anyway, it's out there. Just check out Bud's Blues and Barbecue, and this is the inaugural event, September 13th and
Year one.
14th, and we are super excited about it. So I'm sure KOPN will find a way to be involved in that in some way, shape, or form. I think Booches will probably find a way to get involved in that in
Oh,
some
my
way,
goodness, you
shape,
keep
or
making it
form.
better.
Yeah, and anyway, we got a whole bunch of cool people lined up. King Theodore perhaps will get involved in this particular project. And why don't we, how's that for a quick segue? And I tell you what, Jesse,
Do you sweat these headphones?
I'm looking at the clock here.
He's got a
No.
phone call coming in.
Yeah, but not till 5. So let's talk to Jesse for a few minutes, and then we'll get a couple from Ken, and then you can stick around, and we'll talk more if you have time, Jesse. But first, you have something going on at your place tonight, right?
Yeah, I got a show going on tonight. Started at 7.
Okay.
Band from like an indie punk band from Chicago hit me up. I get lots of bands hitting me up on Instagram. They hit me up a couple months ago and they wanted to come play a show, so
Right.
they're gonna come through. They're called Schaefer. And then I also got Kyron Penrose is gonna come play, and
Good
then
friend of ours, sure.
And his father, Richard Penrose. I don't know if many people know this or not, but he is an incredible musician as well.
No, Kyron gets it honest.
And so, but his father is going to play with him tonight, and his dad doesn't play out,
No,
and his
no.
dad's incredible.
Yeah,
So he has like
yeah.
an organ that he's going to bring and like play. It's going to be a really good time.
Very cool. So that's happening.
Also, Missile Kids are like, we're going to come play a set at your show tonight, or so they might come through and they're going to play a set. So
they're a blast, and
They're a blast.
And now they're back in town. In a few, I think I saw them on
tonight they're going to play Cafe Berlin. They're
Is that
going to come
tonight?
over and they're going to play a second set at my shop.
Dylan McCord, love you. All right,
you guys.
I'll talk to you soon. Hey, Dylan, and also that email to all the bands is going out tonight, so you'll see that. All right, Dylan McCord. Hopefully Paul's sticking around, but Zawada here playing a couple songs for us earlier in the show. All right, Jesse Slade, King Theodore Records. He's with us here for a little bit. Jesse's a regular on the program these days, and runs a real cool little record shop over at 1103 East Walnut.
Yep, 1103.
And just kind of christening the new location there over the last couple of months or so, and
Yeah.
so far so good, I hope.
Yeah, it's going really well. It's
Good.
going really well. I'm excited for students to get back. It's gonna get even crazier.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. All right. Well, you have a knack for doing these cool little pop-up shows that nobody sort of expects. So tonight we've got I think Leica was supposed to be there, but
Yeah.
but Missile Kids are actually coming to do a little thing.
Yeah, Missile Kids, like they're gonna play Cafe Berlin as soon as their set's done there. They're gonna come up. We're gonna play a second set up at my shop. So
All right.
hopping around tonight and then
A little christening there.
Yeah, cool.
yeah,
Did
it
you
was-
guys,
they're really good.
Did you guys do anything for First Friday? last
Yeah,
night?
I had some stuff going on for First Friday. This next First Friday, September 6th, North Village Arts District's actually celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and I'm going to have a big hip-hop showcase. So next First
Oh,
Friday,
really?
that's going to be pretty cool. And then also October 26th, I'm booking a big Halloween show. So
Sweet.
it should
now
be a
that-
good one.
So that's the Saturday before Halloween.
So we might have to get you out if it's one that you're on.
Maybe that's one that we could that we either live remote or we bring some of the bands through here beforehand or something like
Cheese
that.
Man will be there.
Cheese Man.
I can confirm Cheese Man.
I love it. That's hilarious. All right, cool. So once again though, tonight you've got Kyron's going to play.
Schaefer, Kyron,
and
and then
Kyron's
Richard
playing with
Penrose.
his father. Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Penrose is going to play some originals, some covers, and then.
Wow,
and
that's a
then
big
him and
deal.
Kyron
I
are
mean,
gonna
for
play.
for those in the know, honestly, Kyron Penrose, he's a super talented young man who's been performing. In fact, he was on this program probably 5 years ago. I mean, he wasn't 16, 17
Yeah.
years old maybe, but he comes from a very good musical stock, as they say. His father's a really talented man.
Yeah.
The right root system behind
He really
Yeah.
does, you know.
Yeah, he's-
and that's not necessary, but it certainly helps.
It does to set you up.
Yeah. Anyway, so that sounds like you're like a really.
It's gonna be a fun little intimate show. I'm gonna do some good recording.
Are you gonna?
of
I was
it.
just gonna ask. Are you gonna record?
I'm gonna record it. So
Okay.
it'll be good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Love to see you, man. I'm glad things are going well.
Absolutely.
I think Lucas is down at your place holding down the shop.
Lucas is there. I need to show him how to turn on the radio so he can listen to us.
Well, the
there.
ding dong. I'm surprised he doesn't have it on his phone. But anyway, all right. It's good to see you. Stick around if you want. And we're going to get a couple here from Mr. Ken Baker. And then after the top of the hour, a phone call coming in from Danny Schmidt, a real talented singer-songwriter from Nashville who's going to be coming through Columbia here in a couple weeks. And we're going to chat with Danny and play a couple of his songs as well. And then Nathan's here, so we'll talk with Nathan James, see what's up in his world, and I think him and Paul maybe play a couple. Yeah? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so if you're just tuning in, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're close enough to the top of the hour that we're going to call this good. Kurt is here kind of keeping an eye on mics. I think we're pretty good there, Kurt. Yeah, and if you didn't hear earlier, Ken Baker is with us in the studio this afternoon, and first time I've visited with him, and really excited to hear a song or two. Ken, thanks again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Mike.
You're welcome. What
when I showed up,
right?
It worked out really well.
I got here eventually.
He's going to fit in just fine.
Hey, yeah. Anyway, all right. So what are you going to play for us?
Well, this is a song. It's probably it's 5 years old by now. I think I finished it up just before we knew COVID was going to hit us big. So. But this is a song called Your Deep Love.
All right, it's Ken Baker, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Gliding and sliding, holding you tight, steps to the union of soul. There's a warm wind blowing, the stars are on fire, we move as one made whole. The moon rises and sings us a song with a twinkling smile. Rose above glows the lovely light in your eye, exposing years of fears and tears, and still we're right. If I stood naked before you tonight, these are the truths I would share. A threadbare connection is off of my bed. I've got little left to spare. Deceit still whispers to me sometimes. Some days I've got no home. But here I stand, tools in hand, and I use them thanks to you. Of these gifts of grace, of fears and brave, I can't help but sing. Oh, Santa Lena, such a stunning patina, utterly bared am I, so unprepared am I for your sweet, sweet heart. I sing hallelujah and surrender into you, commend all I am to you, could not have planned for you, and your deep love, utterly bare am I, so unprepared am I for your deep, deep love. Now that I found you, now that I know, now you've invited me in. There's no turning back. I turned away all doubt. A better mind within. We'll be right here to dance with you in a waltz to the river divide. To your arms, beyond all harm. We fly on your wing, with you complete. Believing so sweet I can't help but sing. Oh, Santa Lena, such a stunning patina, utterly bare am I, so unprepared am I for your sweet, sweet heart. I sing hallelujah and surrender into you, commend all I got a plan for you and your deep love. Utterly bare to my, so unprepared am I for your deep, deep love. Your deep, deep love. Your deep, deep love.
Oh my God. Hell yes. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right. Ken Baker. All right. With Paul Meyer on the assist there with the bass. Have you guys played together like much, or is it just recently, or did you know each other from back in the day, or what?
We started getting together probably a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. We started.
Year and a half, 2 years ago.
I got invited into a song circle.
Just a song circle.
I mean,
Well, that-
I've been under a rock for 20 plus 30 years.
Right.
So I'm crawling out from under that. And so I was invited into your song circle.
Well, it seems like the song circle is pulling a lot of people out of their rocks in the last
yeah.
few years here.
Yes,
Because
it is.
So much fun.
Yeah, fantastic. Is that like the Roachport one that you talked about, Paul?
Yeah, out of Greg and Sherry's.
Yeah, very cool. All right, we've got.
You've got a phone call coming.
No. I'm on top of it. I told him to give me a few minutes, and
okay.
We'll have. In fact, he's probably listening. But anyway, hello to Danny Schmidt. We'll talk,
Hi, Danny.
We'll talk with Danny.
Hope you're liking what you hear.
We'll talk with Danny in about 10 minutes. He's a wonderful artist who'll be performing here in town in a couple of weeks. But since we've got Paul and Ken here, and they're all tuned up and ready to go, let me first say once again. Well, I'll let Ryan Kenny say it here. Hold on.
This is Ryan Koenig from St. Louis, Missouri's The Goldenrods, and you're listening to KOPN here in Columbia, Missouri, 89.5 FM.
Okay, there you go. That takes care of our top of the hour requirement from the federal CC. I won't tell you what CC means. It isn't what you think. Okay. So let's get one more from Paul and Ken, and then we'll get hopefully connected here with Danny Schmidt. We'll get a little conversation with Danny, find out what's up with him and his world, and play some songs. And then Nathan James is with us. Maybe still a visit from Will Reeves a little bit later. We'll see. And I think Jesse's sticking around. We'll talk a little bit more, maybe about things that are happening down there at King Theodore. He's doing some cool stuff. So, anyway, all right, you guys, let's do another one.
This is one that's about 6 months old. No, probably more like 8 months old now. But
Wow, so a new song. Relatively
for
new
me,
song.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Brand new.
right? Yeah.
Probably pretty new to me, too. So.
yes, they're
be
all new to
forgiven.
me.
I guess it's
Just
well.
like my friend.
Where's Kurt? Because he's going to yell about the debut. I'm sure this is perhaps a debut for others as well. So anyway, we love the debuts here on Open Mic Radio. It's Ken Baker and Paul Meyer, KOPN Columbia.
Only the young is all of my joy, as old as my despair and mine. Color as bright as the hope I hold in your open arms, and none so kind as a healing heart, a bitter once the winds of fear. Torn by the cold, go down apart, still mending through those tears. Sun by day and moon by night, feel my wayward by the light. Make your breath like bells chime real bright, and may a wind horse guide your way. The river runs deep in your soul, so full. It's a fullness that you give, but an emptiness so open wide. The loving places that you receive. How I love to touch your skin. How I need to let you in. May we dance around the stars tonight, and may a window walk us home. Ooh, how I love to touch your skin. we swing around the stars tonight, and may a wind walk us home. May a wind walk us home. God.
Hey, Mike, didn't I tell you he was one heck of a songwriter?
You did. I should learn to trust you, Paul.
Still has to be shown.
All right. Well, outstanding stuff. We got time for one more. If you guys have time for one more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. We got time for one more.
That?
Right?
Oh my God, 3?
Are
No,
you
but-
sure, man?
Yeah. Honestly, no. That's the way we roll around here. So.
Hey, I'm up for it.
Right?
All right, we'll just do.
The reason I could never do commercial radio. Actually, I had the opportunity to do commercial radio.
I'm sure you did.
And on commercial radio, there's a clock, and it's just known as the clock,
right.
basically.
Yeah.
And
it forgives nothing and no one.
Right, and every hour you have to do certain things at certain times during the hour, and there's no leeway, or very, very little leeway. Yeah. And I'm just not willing to do that. I just never was.
Doesn't that leeway cost money?
Oh yeah, that's where all the advertising comes in. Mostly
to be able to pay for that variation in the structure.
Right. So here you don't get any variation. We just rock and roll.
No, you just put us on the spot. That's all.
But anyway, the way we do it without commercials is we're supported by the community, and we have been for 50 years. So we appreciate everyone out there that supports this project and this radio station and this program. Right? Yeah. All right. So one more now from Ken and Paul. What you got?
This is a third one. What is the third one? Obviously.
they always forget the third guy, the third everything.
We've already established that this is
Number 3.
the question is, what is it?
What is it? Yeah. Well, it's one called. What is it called?
I don't know. You wrote
I take you with me. I take you with me.
Oh yeah.
All right. Ken Baker, Paul Meyer, Open Mic Radio.
Not so far behind the days when all was not enough. Everything would want for something more. In the midst of all these gifts was a hole clean through my soul, through which a lonesome wind just howled at a dull roar. And in that itching soul, the restlessness was so wrong. Only a scratching in my mind it could relieve. Around that corner, just one more, I mean it this last time. So my obsessions, they would have had me to believe. Spent my day barely showing up. All I really cared about was blow. Well, the rest was just a mess. To be rejected, cast aside. But now I take you with me everywhere I go. Traveling down this road with you, I finally come to see the truth that lives and breathes among us all. All But I believe all those ideas drawn in the sand will wash away, they will not last beyond the fall. Days on day, not showing up for you, escape right down my own back roads. I stepped out of my own light, found yours come shining through, and now I take you with me everywhere I go. Yeah, I take you with me everywhere I go. Yeah, I take you with me everywhere I go.
All right. Outstanding. You guys,
Thank you.
Ken,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much. Fantastic.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, what a great bunch of songs. Paul, thanks, dude. Yeah, what a great introduction. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Ken, open invitation. Come on back anytime. And,
Thank you very much.
You know, and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Right, Paul? Just drag him along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Orr Street Farm and Art Market tomorrow morning at
Cool.
10 o'clock if I can get up in time. and then come out.
Surely we didn't keep you up past your bedtime.
It's time for my second nap today.
Ken, I used to do this show at 9 o'clock on Friday mornings, and I would have to drag musicians in here at like 8 o'clock to get ready.
That's
you know what I mean?
rude.
Oh, it was brutal.
man.
Yeah. It was not good for anybody. But we ended up getting a pretty sweet spot here on Saturday afternoon, though, baby.
Darn right.
Hey, you know, and that's a lesson on persistence and consistency. Just keep doing it, and eventually people will recognize that it's better than they thought.
Thank you for doing it. Thanks, KOPN.
Yeah, I
That's really
appreciate
great.
it. Thanks again. Ken Baker, awesome. Paul, stick around, okay?
I'm not going anywhere, man.
Okay,
well, I may take a little break, but I'm not leaving.
Turn the radio on in the back room, maybe, because we've got a phone call here with an artist who's coming to town in the next few days. I guess I take that back. It's the nenext couple of weeks. His name is Danny Schmidt. We started the program actually with a song that Danny released a couple of years ago, actually quite a few years ago, called "This Too Shall Pass." And as a matter of fact, it was sort of appropriate because I've got a friend right now who's in kind of difficult situation, and we're all kind of hoping the best for him. So anyway, that's the truth. Whatever it is, you know, there's one thing you can count on. It ain't gonna last. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's in between. Nothing. Everything's got a shelf life. Well said, Clark. Yes, and so most of your problems, all of them actually have shelf life, and even when it comes down to just your death, I mean, that'll finish them all. So there you go. Anyway, we're gonna play a song here from. Actually, let's say hi. He's been waiting. Actually, we were supposed to talk to Danny at 5, so let's say hi real quick, and then we'll play a song, and then we'll come back and kind of do sort of a proper interview with Mr. Danny Schmidt. Hi, Danny. It's Open Mic Radio. Are you there?
Hi, yeah, how you doing?
Hey,
I was enjoying listening. I'm glad we were running a little bit late. I got to hear some good songs.
Good. Yeah, we had a couple of surprises this afternoon. A guy named Ken Baker, who's sort of a local legend who hasn't played much in a long time, came down to the station and played a few for us here, so that was great. But
those are beautiful. I hope he keeps dusting them off.
Yeah, I hope so.
I was jealous not to be sitting in the studio listening in person.
Well, unfortunately, the timing of your show here in Columbia is just off of the schedule here for me. But if you come back, I would love absolutely to have you come down to the station here, and we could do a performance here and record it and have a good time and get to say hi, get to say hi in person.
Next time. Well, thanks for doing it on the phone since we couldn't make it work in person.
All right, so quick, let's tell people what's happening, and then I'm going to play a song, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more, okay? But you're coming to town, is it the
16th, I think, isn't it?
Oh,
Friday the 16th?
Correct. Yeah, Friday the 16th. That's
Kurt's on at
7 o'clock at the Compass Listening Room.
Dude, all right, very good.
Man,
all right.
Well, miracles do happen, man.
So Danny, you're not a regular listener of the program, I'm sure. So one of Kurt's jobs is
I found my list.
His only job. His only job is to give like a rundown of like the local events and stuff, and we rarely know anything that's happening. But anyway, that's sort of just the way it goes.
That's just how it goes.
Anyway, we're excited you're coming to town, and
we know the important things we know about August 16th. Friday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we all need a friend like Kurt who knows what's going on in town and can tell us where we need to go.
No,
so
we
thank you,
don't.
Kurt.
That's exactly right. All right, so Dan, you have some music that has been released very recently. Actually, well, I mean, reasonably recently. There's a couple songs from 2020. I started the song or the show with this song, "This Too Shall Pass," but I'd like to play one from some of your more recent material. Do you have anything that you'd like me to play, or should I just grab one here?
There's one called Canaan that I just put out a couple weeks ago. And what I've been doing, what I started doing during COVID when we couldn't be out there, was just as I would record songs, as I would write songs, I would just go down in my basement studio and record, just, totally stripped down, just me and the acoustic guitar, little things, and most of the songs happen to be kind of topical about what was going on in the world, since the world was so kind of crazy and surreal.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't say that in past tense. It is
right.
kind of crazy and surreal, and the songs kind of made more sense in being put out immediately, so people could relate to them as they were coming. And I've just kind of continued doing that since COVID, and just been trickling out these kind of home-recorded singles. And now that there's a pile of them, I'm going to get into the studio and record them properly. But I kind of like the rawness of just the solo recording.
So, if I want to find the one that you're mentioning, is it one of the ones that you sent me, or can I find it on your Spotify?
It is one of the ones I sent you. It's in the 2024 singles pile called Canaan.
Let's see. I've got. Oh, there they are. Okay, it was. Sometimes you have to scroll a little bit further.
There you are.
Yeah. All right.
I found you.
Dark Skies, Black and Blue. Okay, and what's the name of the one that we're going to play?
Canaan. It's the first one on there, I think. Canaan.
Let's see. Do that. Yes, there it is. Okay, how about that for professional radio, everyone? All right.
And this is the freshest one that there is. I wrote it a couple weeks ago and recorded it the next day. And
smells like a debut. Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is outstanding. So we've got brand new music here from Danny Schmidt. Kurt can't contain himself. We love the debuts. It's true.
I love the debuts.
I do
really
too.
do.
It's a thrill.
I do too. My favorite song is always the newest one.
Yeah,
very special.
Right, of course. But no, it's an honor to be able to do it. I honestly, and I appreciate sharing it with us today. All right.
Love it.
All right, cool. We'll get right to it here. Back in a few minutes with Danny Schmidt. This is a brand new music. It's called Canaan. Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Somehow they got hold of thunder, and somehow they got told to strike. But little hope leaves little wonder that those dogs will bite, that the dogs will bite. New blood in an old battle, new scars on an ancient stone, but short memories cast long shadows when the sun gets low, when the sun gets low. Once upon a mistake in judgment, once upon a recurring crime, an empty chord made an empty promise, then drew a muddy line, then drew a muddy line. But who's in charge when a leader's chosen? Then who's to blame for the price of blood? Who's to say when the fighting's over, the tail that wags the dove, the tail that wags the dove. ancient sand holds still. So promise not to covet or to kill. But ice rise forever after only leads the blind to rapture, like echoes of the temple's fall. Mothers crumbling at the Wailing Wall. Mothers crumbling at the Wailing Wall. When the sky's as black as the devil's laughter, the air's as hot as an angry god. If you plant your flag in your neighbor's pasture, it's called a lightning rod. It's just a lightning rod. But somehow they got hold of thunder, and somehow they got told to strike. But who's a name and who's just a number in this blinding light? In this blinding light. In this blinding light.
Wow. Okay. So that's brand new music from our guest via the telephone this afternoon. His name is Danny Schmidt, and that's a song called Canon or Canaan. And it's spelled Canaan as it's sort of a biblical spelling. Danny, can you give me a little background on that song?
Yeah. Well, I named it after the piece of land that became called Israel, became called lots of things throughout time, because that was what it was called before anyone kind of claimed possession of it.
Yeah.
And then had it stolen from them, and then had it stolen from them, and then had it stolen from them.
And that's just history, right? I mean, that's the whole. I mean, that's history, that's the headline of history. Just people taking things from other people, pretty much ad infinitum, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed so far, and it's a frustrating and sort of.
And that's
anyway,
the oldest cradle of our civilization. So they've kind of done it the longest, and you can see the repercussions of a place when you have centuries and centuries and generations of people with legitimate grievance and anger about what's happened to their people at one point or another. And I wrote the song kind of in frustration with how polarized the responses I was seeing to the situation in Israel and Palestine is, and it shouldn't fall along black and white political identity lines. The situation is so complicated and so old. When I've heard true scholars talk about it, the very first thing they say is, if you could if your idea of a solution can be boiled down to 5 minutes, you don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
you
the
don't
problem.
Even have the beginning of an understanding.
Just the knowledge of history, and just the ability to share what needs to be shared in order to bring people all up to the same level. At this point, it seems like a Herculean task, and it's just a. I hate to say it, but it's just, it's a slow motion train wreck, and I just somehow I hope something can and I don't just mean the Middle East situation, just the whole the whole world is just not on a good track right now. But the plus side is art. My old friend Terrence used to say, the answer to many things is just push the art pedal to the metal, and music is certainly a big part of the art spectrum, and I love that there seems to be a lot of wonderful music and a lot of wonderful artists that are that are out and about, and that's still a positive thing. And I'm hoping that somehow we pull through and
definitely it's more
come
nuanced
out of this
form
thing, you know.
Of dialogue. It's a more nuanced form of dialogue than social media is right now. You know, you can
Oh my
say-
gosh, yeah.
You can say more. You can have more subtle messages.
Yeah.
That kind of take into account both sides. And
Yeah, everything
And
is-
my whole take with that one is just like we mostly need to be feeling some empathy for both sides have been through the ringer and have been deeply wounded, and start from there, and then we'll start rebuilding.
I agree. Hey, Daniel.
Very well said.
Daniel, what's your background? Are you? I think we're talking to you from Nashville. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville now, which feels weird to say. I grew up in Austin. I've been in Austin most of my life.
Wow. Not a lot of people move from Austin. I mean, even musicians kind of like to hang around there. But of course, Nashville's sort of Mecca. But
and Nashville's great. Both places we had huge communities of artist friends and non-artist friends, and the big difference for us is that in Nashville they're all in the same neighborhood. So I'm just not in my car very much, except when I'm on the road, which I really like.
Yeah.
All our friends live within 5 minutes of us over here.
Cool. Hey, I have a quick a question about your musical background. Do you come from a musical family? And what's your training? What instruments are you playing and this sort of thing?
Yeah, guitar is my main instrument. I started playing guitar when I was, a young teenager and was into like the Shredders and the heavy metal stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I got in.
You wouldn't be a teenager worth your salt if you didn't. All right?
I know, right? Yeah. I expressed my anger to my parents by turning my little 10-watt amp up, literally every knob to the top.
We've got a whole studio of musicians here, and we're all laughing in tandem. So.
Yeah. And then I kind of got into Hendrix, and growing up in Austin, I was into Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I was going to say
Eric
you had to be into
Johnson.
Stevie if you're down there in Texas. So.
Had to be into Stevie. Had to be Eric was really a big hero too.
Eric Clapton, sure.
Eric Johnson.
Oh, Eric Johnson.
And
yeah.
I was in a good time there in Austin. I got to go see those guys pretty regularly before they were playing real big shows. And both of them talked about Hendrix like he was a god and hero.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked into that guy and was pretty into that. And then, it was back in the day with like guitar magazines and stuff. So I'd get the guitar magazines and they would talk about their influences. And I would read about Hendrix talking about his influences. And it was kind of these electric blues guys, which then led me back to the country blues guys. And then I got into like John Hurt. And Ronnie McGee and
Mississippi
Sonny Terry.
John, for sure.
Yeah, and that's when I fell in love with the acoustic guitar, and started playing stuff that my parents could stomach a little bit more. And I was always into the writers. I always loved good writing of any sort. So I loved Dylan. I loved Leonard Cohen. Later on,
sure,
John Prine and Towns and those guys and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then at some point, with the country blues kind of stuff, kind of merged into. Through Woody Guthrie and stuff, like that, a lot of common roots that kind of came into the songwriting world from there, and that's when it all clicked for me, and what I discovered what I was really into.
Well, you're writing some great music. You have the song that's sort of at the top of your Spotify playlist because it has a whole bunch of listens, and it's actually a wonderful song that I started the program off with. Is there a particular story behind that song? And why it has 5+ million listens? Yeah,
it found a new audience when the Welcome to Night Vale podcast. I don't know if you're familiar with those guys.
No, what is it?
But they're about 10 years old now. Welcome to Night Vale is the name of it, and it's they blew up. They went totally viral about 10 years ago.
Right.
It's this serial narrative. So every week they'd put out a half hour. The story would go on, and
it's
go
like,
on,
and it's fiction, or it's a news magazine.
It's fictional. It's fictional. It's extremely smart, very non sequitur, really dark and kind of twisted, but like good-hearted.
Cool.
It's not horror.
Sounds like we need to get them on the program.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. They're brilliant. They're brilliant people.
Okay.
And they would feature a song. They would feature a song in every episode, and those guys they'd come to a show of mine in New York and wrote. And asked if they could use that song in one of their early episodes.
Oh, cool!
And at the time, they were having like 250 downloads a week.
Right.
And about 4 months later, they had like 2.5 million downloads.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And so So that song, so they went crazy, and then the songs that they were featuring,
Of course.
it got in a bunch of new people, a bunch of young people's ears, which is great.
That's great.
And,
was it a surprise to you? I mean, like, were you like paying attention to the podcast, or did it sort of happen like off your radar?
They were off my radar. They were off everyone's radar. They weren't on anyone's radar.
I mean, were you still paying attention to them when they got big, and or was it just one day you just looked at your feed and all of a sudden you had a whole bunch more fans or whatever?
No, I knew that they had blown up before I saw metrics coming my way because we kept in touch. They're real good guys, and it was really fun to actually watch the phenomenon of them like getting this instantaneous like huge surge, and they're so different than everything else that it really the audience member that they tie into felt a really strong affinity for the show. So it's really kind of fun to watch the phenomenon of that happen. And then it kind of trickled back down to me a little bit more when they started touring the show live, and they invited me to come with them to kind of open up the show. So we were playing in some like big, beautiful historic theaters and stuff.
Wow, that sounds like a blast.
It was fun. It was really cool.
All right, cool. Well, look, we are getting a little tight on time here, so let's once again remind people what's happening on the 16th of August. How'd you get connected with Violet and Phil Sean and the gang down at Compass? That'll be a fun show on the 16th of August. But how did that come together?
Yeah, I love those places like Compass that kind of have this big kind of holistic community, just roll in the community with classes and events and kind of nurturing up and coming budding musicians and stuff. And those always, I don't know, I've always it's like Old Town School in Chicago and Swallow Hill in Denver. And those shows always feel good there. It's the whole community there kind of appreciates the value.
I used to live right down the block from Swallow Hill.
Okay, you get it.
I would walk. Yeah. I would actually. Those are in my heavy drinking days, and I would stumble past the Swallow Hill many nights a week. Actually, it was.
We might have passed. We might have passed each other.
Anyway, well, Danny, I love what you're doing, and I hope to see you on the 16th at Compass. If people want to find you online and check out your stuff, what's the best way to kind of find you?
My website's the best place to kind of get the latest that's going on. It'll send you to any corner of the internet where there's any special things that you can get. And it's just myname.com, DannySchmidt.com.
All right, DannySchmidt.com. All right, I have a choice of a song that I'd like to play called "A Prayer for the Sane." If that's cool with you, that's the one I'd sort of like to say goodbye with.
Sure, yeah.
You want to? Do you have any comments on that particular track?
That's another one of the ones that was kind of I wrote at home during the pandemic and just recorded it immediately, and it's kind of in a similar vein. You know, I've been frustrated in general with how divided and divisive the discourse has gotten about things. I think there's a lot more that we agree on than we allow ourselves to admit we agree on.
I agree.
And part of it, a big part of it to me, is that one side is kind of peddling an untruth so much that they've just kind of we don't even have a common foundation of factual reality on some issues that we can then argue our different perspectives, a conservative perspective on how to solve that problem and a liberal perspective on how to solve that problem. It's like, first, we don't even admit on the facts of that problem. And so this song is about kind of healing that divide, at least getting all of us getting back to factual reality in the good old days when we could argue different schools of thought about how best to resolve it.
All right, man. Well, here it is, and I'll talk to you a little bit later, and thanks for joining us, and have a great show on the 16th, okay?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Right on. All right, this is one from Danny Schmidt. It's called "A Prayer for the Sane." You listen to it on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, and I completely concur.
Tear the world in half, the haves from the have-not-haves. Built a fire between us, and hope like hell to raise the phoenix. Tear the world in two, the truths from the half, the truth lies and the bad disguises from the facts and Nobel Prizes, yeah. And these were once good lands of good neighbors and good friends. We used to fight like dancers, one call with different answers. These were open lands, and strangers were our future friends. But fences make for consequences. We're prisoners of our own defenses, yeah. Now our heart's been broken, lost our way but found it stolen, hidden in a storm of nothing, a hurricane of newsmen blushing. Now our eyes are bleeding, and tears of the loss of reason, a pool of our own objections, honest men with no reflections, yeah. Here's the choice, my sister, gentle warrior, fierce resistor. Fill the sky like blackbirds, or sit and watch the world spin backwards. Here's the choice, my brother, old soldier, different drummer. March hard to break the borders, or stand guard the old world orders. Here's the choice, my child, raise your hands and reconcile, while the king kneels down before us. It's time for you to rise in chorus. It's time to set our anger free. It's time for facts to shake beliefs. It's time to name a new North Star. It's time for flames to skewer the dark. It's time to shake the voting booth. It's time for us to scream the truth. Now it's time, my friends, it's time to make us whole again. Just as the world revolves, let's get these broken days resolved.
Wow. All right. Very nice stuff there from Danny Schmidt. Once again, that's a Friday, the 16th of August. I think I said Sunday before, but the 16th of August, that's Friday, and that's going to be a great show. 8 o'clock. Is that what you said?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock show.
7 o'clock.
Doors at 6 probably?
At the Compass Listening Room.
All right, there you go. All right, so we're going to get some more music in here and not waste any time. Nathan James is here with us. Paul's going to sit in and play some bass with Nathan. I think they've actually been kind of collaborating a little bit lately. Once. There you go. That's enough, though. So play one for us, please.
Okay, this song's called Freedom. I'll make sure I got a nice monitor here. Are you ready, Paul?
I think so.
Will you take the bread from my hand? And will you take it just because? Just 'cause you can, I feel like I'm a fly in a window, seen everything so clearly but trapped with no place to go. Freedom is not what it seems. Show me a man and a woman that claim to be, and all I see is two slaves living each day, but not their own way. Decisions, they come and go, but in reality it's all just a show, being bought and sold. Means being the person you yourself you do not know. Freedom is not what it seems. All it brings is useless dreams for visions of better times ahead. Lead only to fear and dread. When you feel the rain pouring down, the strings of life show you that you are its clown. Don't ask me to define it. Explanations come from those who are wise and those with wit. So now, give me your freedom and all those things that you work so hard to find, and I will take them and call them my own. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Nathan James, all right? Find him out and about. Do another one. You're all set up. Let's do one more. Let's make it quick, all right?
So this one's called Worth the Chase.
I didn't mean make it quick. I mean, I just don't want to waste any time.
Make it snappy, Mike says. Make it snappy. Don't delay. Okay, so I do have to give one introduction. This one's a new one.
Yeah.
This
I love
one,
it. A new one.
Debut. There it is. Let's hear it.
Yep. All right.
So this one does bring tears occasionally. It's in regards. November, my grandmother passed away, and as we're all sitting around, my grandfather said that she was worth the chase. Worth the chase is how he described her, and 50 plus years. So this is their song.
I love it. Nathan James, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
We lie in our bed. You sleep while I'm in my head, trying to get through this restless night. I reached for your hand and I squeeze it tight, 'cause you were worth the chase. I miss your embrace. It's lonely without you here. And I've held back the tears. And we have the children, we gave them their names. And then we knew that our lives never would be the same. We gave our best. Now let's let fate do the rest. 'Cause you were worth the chase. I miss your embrace. It's lonely without you here. And I've held back the tears. I'm lost and confused, not knowing where and what to do. The routines of life slowly come back, but there's so much that I lack. The phone rings and I think, can you get that, dear? Then I remember it's just me alone here. The silence from my mind creeps in, and then a smile when I remember where it all begins. 'Cause you were worth the chase. I miss your embrace. It's lonely without you here. And I still cry the tears. 'Cause you were worth the chase. I miss seeing your face. It's lonely without you here. And baby, I'll still cry the tears. 'Cause you were worth the chase. You were worth the chase.
Whew. Dude. Yeah. All right, Robbie, get your guitar because I can't talk after that.
Dude, that was
Nathan James. Nathan, where are you playing anytime soon?
I got a couple gigs. I got one at the Penguin on the 23rd. Two at Main Pizza in Jeff City, and the main one that Paul's going to play with me at is the Dandelion, April 30th.
Yeah, in Boone, or I'm sorry, in Ashland.
Ashland and Adventure.
How about August instead of
April?
April.
August. Oh man, sorry, my head's in another place.
These guys really plan ahead.
I don't plan that far ahead.
And Adventure Hat will be joining us.
Oh, cool.
We're headlining for them.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very cool. All right, and also, you and I are going to talk
afterwards
with Dylan about busking at the barbecue event.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Great to see you, my friend.
So good to see you.
Really beautiful song. Thank you very much. All right. All right. So we've hey Robbie, we got time. We got time for a couple. So.
All right, man. I'm all yours.
Let's do a couple from Robbie Bird. All right. I have a quick question though before you play a song for us, Rob.
Yes, sir.
And Robbie was here a few weeks ago, actually, and he wasn't feeling great, but he actually performed a couple of wonderful songs here in the studio. He didn't think they were the greatest performances, but I actually enjoyed them a lot. I'm glad he's back to say hi. He's performing tonight at Nash Vegas, a good long show from 9 o'clock until 1.
4 hours.
Yeah, there'll be a few breaks in there, I imagine. But did you play last night? I think you did.
I played last night. I took one 16-minute break.
Dude.
It was packed, dude. It was awesome.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So not a lot of time to dilly dally. Let's play a couple, and thanks again for coming back. All right.
All right. This is a vibe change. All right. This one's called Highway 109.
Right on. Robbie Burt, KOPN Columbia. It's Open Mic Radio.
She kicked him out, he was ready to score. Even though it was almost 4:30, he did a burnout in the driveway in a 67 Chevrolet. Come on, baby, let's light up a few. Officer, I ain't going anywhere with you. People say he's reckless, that he's passing stop signs. 100 miles an hour on Highway 109. Well, his chain smoking, his cigarettes. He might do something he might regret. He's flying down with the radio high, and it's passing every white line. Come on, baby, let's light up a few. Officer, I ain't going anywhere with you. People say he's reckless, that he's passing stop signs. 100 miles an hour on Highway 109. 109. Bartender called the cops, but he wasn't ready to stop. He picked up his favorite bar stool and threw it at the boys in blue. Come on, baby, let's light up a few. Officer, I ain't going anywhere with you. People say he's reckless, that he's passing stop signs. 100 miles an hour on Highway 109. 109.
Thank you, guys.
I love it.
Highway 109. I gotta tune this out real quick. Like, wait.
Yeah, man. Go for it. And I'll mention Robbie Burt. You can find him online at about the same.
What time are you starting tonight?
I start at 9 and I end at 1 a.m.
9 to 1. Nash Vegas down there at 9th and Broadway, on the corner there. All right, Nash Vegas. Robbie Burt tonight from 9 to 1. We're gonna get one more from Robbie, and then me and Kurt will say toodaloo. So, but super thrilled to have everybody join us this afternoon. Robbie, you're awesome. I love it. That's a new one, right?
That's a new one.
Are you gonna play it? You'll play it tonight?
Oh yeah, probably.
You're gonna play everything tonight. You play for 4 hours,
dude. I'm playing the whole thing. Everything I know is tonight. Yeah, 4 hours. Yeah, this is a song. It's another new song, unreleased. It should be out at the end of this month. It's called "Make Mama Proud." It's a song I wrote for my mama.
I love it.
Yeah.
Here it is, Robbie
Thanks for
Burt.
having me.
It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Hold on. Mama gave me my first name. She taught me how to live a certain way. Said I'm gonna make a change. Today's a new day. Dying slow, getting old and gray. I say my prayers every night, hoping that they make it to you on time. I said I'm gonna find a way. Today's a new day. Forgive me for all my past mistakes. But some things in life ain't so simple. It's me no scars, you healed my bruises. Lift me up when I'm feeling low. Went through hell and back when I was trying to find my way. Forgive me for all my past mistakes. Some things in life ain't so simple. This mean old world chewed me up and spit me out. Day by day, little by little. And if you need me, I'll always be around. Just trying to make mama proud. Trying to make mama proud. Just trying to make mama proud.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me, Mike. You're the best, man.
I love it. Robbie Byrd, incredible. Brand new stuff, actually. You can catch him tonight from 9 to 1 down at Nash Vegas. That'll be a great show. He was down there last night rocking and rolling, and they'll be doing it again tonight. Robbie, I love you, brother.
Yeah,
that's so cool. So stay in touch, dude, and you know, anytime, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Kurt, we are away next week. It's Rockabilly Corner. So we'll come back in a couple weeks with cool stuff, all right? We're going to get to it here. Stick around. Rashimba and a reggae party. Big thank you to everybody who came down and hung out this afternoon. A lot of great music, a lot of great guys and girls involved in this thing. So thanks to all of you. Be cool to yourself, be cool to other people, and let's get on out of here, Kurt.
Thanks a lot. There you go. That was Open Mic Radio.